बैठो बैठो बाद में देखें, उसको लगाओ, अभी आने दो नंदन को, उसको साइड कर दो साइकिल, बाद में लगाओ। समझा? बहुत स्पीड चलाता है। ठीक है ठीक है, अभी थोड़ी देर में तुम लोग काम करो अपना, हम बात करेंगे थोड़ी देर। समझा? बैठो तुम लोग अपना काम करो। Good morning, friend. Welcome to back my channel. Today we will discuss discuss. अरे बोले 5 मिनट वेट करो, आ रहे हैं, 5 मिनट का टाइम दो। Good morning, friend. Welcome to back my channel. Today we will discuss on welding. And last day we have already finished that arc welding, and now today we will do the friction welding and salt distilled welding. In that we will see what will that welding. In the arc welding process, that electric arc will be generated and melt the metal, allowing the two or more workpieces to fuse. It widely used in the construction, manufacturing, and repair due to the strength, efficiency, and the co-effectiveness. So, what is the basically the arc welding? Principle of arc welding. Arc welding operates on the principle of electric arc discharge between the electrode and the base metal. When the arc forms, there will be temperature the 4000 to 6000 and melt the base metal and brittle material. Upon cooling, the molten pool solidify, forming a strong rod. Basically, that arc welding you will see that will be created an arc, and after that arc creating the metal and electrode, so one of them will be melt and the base metal and the melting process will be done. So basically, what is the key point of that? The power supply, electrode, workpiece, and arc, and the shielding gas. There, basically the very important things here. There, what is the basically shielding gas is there? So you will see that helium, carbon dioxide, and other things are will be there. So they are work as a shielding gas. So basically, the work metal, you can say that the material that we want to what weld, so don't get what oxidized. uh, They, they do not form oxides. So we will use that in that welding process. We use the welding gas. So type of arc welding process, that shielded metal arc welding, that is uses a flux coated consumable electrode, common for structural welding pipelines, gas shielded arc welding, that is MIG. So here we will see the consumable electrode, and in that the uses of consumable electrode and the shielding gas. अभी 2 मिनट रुको तुम लोग। provide high deposition rates and used in automotive and the fabrication. So gas tungsten arc welding, TIG welding, it is also the welding process in that we will use the non-consumable tungsten electrode and inert gas argon and helium. Produce high quality welds in the aerospace and the precious welding. So in aerospace we are using what the TIG welding, tungsten. Flux based arc welding, flux coded or arc welding, submerged arc welding. This is not important as much for the point of view, exam point of view. And advanced arc welding, also plasma arc welding, constructed and generated high heat and precision, and used in aerospace, medical device manufacturing. And after that, you will see that the shielding gases, argon, carbon dioxide. What are the basically arc welding advantage of arc welding? You will see the high welding speed and efficiency, strong and the durable joints, works with a variety of metal, can be the automated for the mass production. Disadvantage require skill level, produces harmful fumes, and the radiation prone to the probe if not performed correctly. Another topic that is the gas welding. What exactly this? The gas welding. Gas welding is a process that uses the heat of the flame produced by the burning a fuel gas such as the acetylene with oxygen to melt and fuse the metal part. It is one of the oldest welding techniques and it is widely used for the joining the thin metal and sheet pipes and the repairing work. So what is the basically the principle of gas welding? The gas welding works on the principle of combustion. A flame is produced by the mixing a fuel gas and with oxygen in a welding torch, and the heat generated by the flame melts the edges of the base metal and filler rod and is often added to the strengthen the joints. The molten cool solid fire upon the cooling forming a strong weld. So basically in gas welding you will see the gas will be used and for the forming that what a high what workpiece will be made and now after that that melting process will be done. So acetylene gas will be there. So one flame will be very important is there. So key movement is cylinder, regulator, hoses, toss, and the filler rod. Here, filler rod is important. Provide additional material for the volume volume increases. Filler rod. Type of flame in gas welding: natural flame, neutral flame, equal amounts. Oxygen acetylene produces blue concept inner flame, most commonly used for the welding mild steel, stainless steel, aluminum, carburizing flame, excess acetylene in a mixture. If we say that carburizing flame, that acetylene in the mixture is excess, produced a sulfur flame with a longer inner core and used for the welding high carbon steel and non-ferrous metal. Oxidizing flame, where the oxygen is the in excess amount and produces shorter intense blue flame. This flame will be blue, as outer flame with a longer inner core. Blue flame will be there, and types of gas welding. So first one the oxyacetylene welding. So temperature is the 3200 degrees Celsius, 3200 degrees Celsius, suitable for welding steel, cast iron, aluminum, copper alloys. Most common type of the gas welding. So is the oxyacetylene welding. Oxy-hydrogen welding uses hydrogen instead of acetylene to produce a flame temperature of 2800 degrees Celsius used in the cutting, brazing, and the welding of material. Pressure gas welding uses a combination of gas pressure and heat to join the material commonly used in the rail welding. Gas welding equipment and component: gas cylinder, acetylene cylinder, red or maroon. Store the acetylene at 50 psi 1 bar, and oxygen cylinder, black or green. Store the oxygen at 2200 psi 150 bar. So the regulator reduces the high pressure gas from the cylinder to usable level, and the single stage and two stage regulator available. Hoses and torch color coded the hoses: red acetylene, blue oxygen torch component. So basically in the you will see the gas welding. In the gas welding that we are using there's some gas, oh sorry, in the gas welding you will see there are some gases, that oxyacetylene, hydrogen, and in that the presence of oxygen. So somewhere sometimes the oxygen excess, sometimes the acetylene excess. So basically the welding process will be done on the basis of flame, additional flame we will use here, and what metal will be get metal get melt and finally joined. And this type of welding is called the gas welding. So advantage of the gas welding: low equipment cost, portable and can be used in a remote location, can weld a variety of metal, smooth and precise. Disadvantage: slower process. Why? Because that we are using the additional something is there. So not suitable for very thick material, producer lower weld strength. Gas cylinder goes for the higher expression. Gas welding. So after the gas welding, so tomorrow we will do. So tomorrow we will do what the solid state welding. And what exactly did? What is this? Because in that way, any type of material, no. So it's a simple the workpiece and the whatever the metal we want to join that the rotation speed and finally heat production get the joint. So solid state welding is the process in which material are joined without the melting instead of using the fusion. Solid state welding relies on the heat and pressure both to the create a strong metallurgical bond, and this process is widely used in industry where the strength defect free joint and for the such as the aerospace. So basically the what solid state welding there is no any kind of extra thing which is important here. Basically that we will use here what that speed and the breaks of pressure and the temperature on the basis of that we can join the metal. So the melting occurs below the melting point of the material being joined, and heat and the pressure cause the atmosphere diffusion and across the joint interface, creating a strong bond. Some processes use the mechanical deformation while others rely on the heat assisted diffusion. Key component in the solid state welding. So heat sources, friction, ultrasonic waves, expression energy, and the diffusion, heating, pressure application, mechanical force of the control the deformation. So basically, these are the points that solid state welding which will carried out. So types of the welding state and welding process. So solid state welding is classified on the method used to the generate heat and the pressure. So what exactly here solid state that we need some material and the extra material that I want to join on the basis of what pressure. So first pressure based solid state welding, what is exactly that? Basically that diffusion will be carried out. So it uses high temperature and pressure to diffuse the atoms across the interface and actually surface on the surface that the surface want to join requires the control atmosphere vacuum in the inert gas used in the aerospace and nuclear industry. So friction-based solid-state welding, friction welding, join the material using heat from the mechanical friction, rotary friction welding, linear friction welding, orbital friction welding. So basically, these are the welding process in that we only use the metal and the metal one is one. There is no need of filler material, though no need of any kind of. But here there are some disadvantages there because the material will be same, material property will be same, so we can join. Both are the different. We cannot join each other. So now we will see the some. Tomorrow we will see the friction welding and the some defect welding, and after that we will see the basic fitting. So